Okay, good morning. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Tuesday, April 21st. We'll change the date. So once again, thanks for joining us here on Sports Talk. We'll change the date in just a second, April 20th. So change it to April 21st. There it is. Everything's on your screen. So back to 21st. So there it is. So once again, we'll be going over today's news headlines. So let's go ahead and begin. If you're in here on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch, welcome. We do welcome you here. Also, if you're on Sportscaster as well, we'll check them as well, see if they're on. Yep, they're on as well. Sportscast, they're on that screen. So once again, thanks for joining us here. We will begin with sports headlines. Right now, let's go ahead and switch over our screen. I'm putting it, everything is in the screen, so everything is directly in your screen. So if you see that, so let's go ahead and begin with our sports headlines here on today's show. Okay, that time Raiders took a kicker in the first round inside the weirdest NFL draft pick ever. That's what they're talking about. Mel Kiper um, goes over the weirdest kickers. So weirdest draft picks by the Oakland Raiders, Los Angeles Raiders, or now the Las Vegas Raiders. So in general, let's go ahead and play this video from Mel Kiper. Let me go ahead and play that.
I think back 20 years ago when the Raiders taking Sebastian Janikowski, the left-footed, booming place kicker out of Florida State. If you hit the 55, 60-yarder, you knew that going in. He had the big leg. I had 33rd on the board. You don't take the 33rd best player at 17 in the first round. But I think if you look back at the Raiders now, Davis, he had drafted Ray Guy in 1973, great punter out of Southern Miss, went on to have a Hall of Fame career. So there was a reason why you would think special teams there, but at 17, that's way too high. Ironically, in that draft, they got Shane Leckler, punter out of Texas A&M, with a great career. I think when you look back, the last time you will ever see a kicker go in the first round with Sebastian Janikowski, that will never happen again.
Well, I kind of agree with Mel Kiper what he said. Look, you don't draft kickers in the first round just to do that. You draft whatever you need, whether it's a defensive lineman, quarterback, or whatever. I mean, sure, the Raiders just picked Sebastian Janikowski 20 years ago with the Oakland Raiders. Look, I'll be honest with you. Look, hopefully the Raiders do the right thing and don't go picking kickers and stuff like that. Because look, that's sure your special teams is very important. That's understandable. But if you need defensive people and you need some running backs, that's what you need in the first round. Not going picking kickers and stuff like that. So that's my opinion on that. What's your opinion? You can comment through Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and also Sportscaster. So we're seeing who's in here. I'm looking at the screens right now. Okay, once again, Quitland, thanks for joining us as well. We appreciate you coming in on Sportscaster side. And I see the follow. So once again, I surely appreciate your follow. So let me get see what's on the Facebook side. See if our Facebook guys are on. I'm looking at you right now, right on the screen. So once again, this is from ESPN. You can go to ESPN.com. So let's go ahead and switch over to news headlines. Let me get this switched over. There it is. Okay, let's go ahead and go over some more stuff. Okay, this is on ESPN. Raiders reveal their Chargers. Excuse me, Chargers. I keep saying Raiders. Chargers unveiled their new uniforms. That's what they're talking about in this article. This is from Lindsay. Thiry. You can reach her at ESPN, ESPN.com. They're talking about the Raiders' new, Chargers, excuse me. I keep saying Raiders. Chargers, new uniforms. So, let's go ahead and show you those Chargers uniforms. I'm going to show a picture of it right here. Let me get this up on the screen. We'll switch it, Twitter. Okay, these are the Chargers' new uniform. This is, I like these little sleek designs. They got the blue one with the white pants. And they also have the blue uniforms with the gold pants and with the bolts on the side. And the other ones, this uniform right here, this white one with the gold pants and the bolt on the side, and also the this is going to be the dark blue ones. This is the one of the dark blue, and then this is the blue and gold with the and then they have the numbers on the helmets. So tell me what you think about this um, um, these new uniforms for the Chargers. You can comment through Sportscaster, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and also Twitter. So to name a few. So if you're in here, you can do that. So switch that over. So once again, this is from Twitter. I'm pulling up these new uniforms right here. I'm looking at them really closely. This is what we're showing you. So once again, this is from Los Angeles Chargers. Let's go ahead and go back to the ESPN headline. So that's from Lindsay Dira. You can reach her at ESPN. That's ESPN. This is from Around the Horn. So I'm going to play this video right here. So I'm going to play this video for you.
Chargers, Bill Plaschke, I look at you and I see anticipation for what this could be. Go ahead, please.
Oh, goodness, if there's yet one more reason to really cheer for the NFL to come back, this would be tremendous, having two teams for the first time at Hard Knocks, because these teams really play Hard Knocks football against each other. The Rams and Chargers don't like each other very much. They're fighting for space in the stadium. They're fighting for attention in town. They're fighting for LA. It's an underlying battle between them every day and every move. And can you imagine football starting up again and it's focused on these two teams trying to get everything figured out while trying to compete against each other in the same town? It would be tremendous. It would be the best Hard Knocks ever.
Classic Chargers Rams. It goes back literally dozens of days, this rivalry. No, I'm not really sold on it, to be honest. And last year with the
I think I am. I really think I am. I know I disagree with this guy on this panel with the Chargers versus the Rams. I think it's a good combination right there. I absolutely think it's a good combination. So once again, this is from Lindsay Thier. You can reach her at ESPN. Let's go ahead and switch this out. So let's pull this up on the screen, see what else we've discussed. Okay, up on the screen. Okay, Justin Herbert favored over Tua Tabola to be the second pick in the draft. So most likely I will agree with this. I think he will be picked second in the draft over Tua Tabola because look, his numbers due to his numbers. Um, so that's one thing I'm gonna say. Look, if he does get picked, whether it's going to be the Patriots, whether it's going to be the Raiders or whoever, look, I think they're going to get a premier quarterback. Both of these quarterbacks, I think, are premier quarterbacks. But the only thing with Tua Tabola, he had some injuries. On March 31st, PointsBet, which is a site, had Tua Tabola at 650 favorite. With Hebert is also a 5-1 favorite, so that's something right there. Once again, if you want to comment about who you think is going to be picked second in the NFL draft, you can comment via the Sportscaster, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch comment areas. We're watching you right now. We see so far we're seeing some people on Sportscaster. I appreciate that. So once again, this is from ESPN. You can go to ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what's going on with this one. Okay, Draymond Green, Warriors have elephant in the room and Kevin Durant. That's what they're talking about in this article. Nick Friedel is the writer. As Draymond Green watched 2 parts of Last Dance, the Pride Golden State Warrior forward parallel between the end of the Chicago Bulls run with Michael Jordan in the 90s. So this is what they're talking about in this article. So I look at it this way. Yeah, the Golden State Warriors. Look, I think the Golden State Warriors does have something going on with their 3 championships, but the only exception is they can't. I mean, they couldn't out beat the Chicago Bulls because the Chicago Bulls had a premier team back then, and Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman, and Steve Kerr, to name a few. But these guys, with the Golden State Warriors having Kevin Durant, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, and so many others, and also Steph Curry, to name a few. So I look at it this way. So this article is kind of, they saying about this the elephant in the room. I know it's just a formality or something like that. So once again, this is from ESPN. Go to ESPN.com. So I'm going to play this video for you for 1 second. We'll play another video clip. Let's go ahead and play this video clip.
Kevin took the 1-year deal on his own. So that was kind of the elephant in the room. And although Steve's approach was like, hey, guys, let's enjoy this year because we don't know what next year brings. You got Kevin contract. You got Klay contract. And I kind of got thrown in that contract thing, although I had another year after that year, which was this year. And so that was kind of the elephant in the room. And although Steve would kind of hit on it of like, let's just enjoy this year for what it is because we don't know what next year holds, it didn't necessarily carry the same weight because what should have happened was Kevin come out and say, hey, man, like,
that's it.
Like, this is it. Like, so let's do this or this isn't it. You know what I'm saying? But you can't just leave the elephant in the room. Because what happened was the question came to us every day. Like, every time we spoke to the media, Clay and myself was asked about our contract. And it was strictly due to Kevin, because while that was going on, Clay was saying, I want to be a Warrior forever. Like, I want to be here. We started this thing. This is where I want to be. I'm saying, I want to be here for my career. We started this. We built this. I want to finish my career here with the guys I started it with. And then you kind of had Kevin, like, I don't know what I'm going to do next year. Like, and it don't matter, but it does matter because you're not the only person that has to answer that question. And to be quite frank with you, you're honestly the last person that has to answer the question because you don't really say, like, you don't.
To be honest with you, yeah. Look, sure. They was talking about Kevin Durant's contract. There was also talking about Klay Thompson's contract. But the truth of the matter is, look, I know he was the last man standing with his contract, with Draymond Green saying, I kind of agree with him in some sense, but look, Golden State, look, right now they're completely they're under disarray right now with Steph Curry coming back, but hopefully they will be back in full form next season, because this season with Golden State was absolutely a disaster waiting to happen. So once again, I agree with Draymond Green. If you think Draymond Green's correct, post your comments through Sportscaster, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. So, to name a few. So let's see if you're in here. Okay, we'll look at any more people. I'm looking at you right now. We got Eric MIA. That's another guy. Thanks for joining us. Also, Hookem Luke. Thanks for joining us as well on this show. We got one on. I'm looking at it. One on the screen. Let's see who that is. That one on that screen. I'm looking at the one. Okay, that's Twitch. Okay, if you're in here, I'm looking at the screens. Okay, once again, let's go ahead and switch this out. This is from ESPN. Okay, I'm going to go over some more stuff. Okay, Last Dance averaged 6.1 million viewers for the premiere, the WNBA draft, most watched in 16 years. So I think both the NBA draft and the Last Dance documentary was most much watched TV on because right now we don't have any sports going on in the country due to the coronavirus, but The Last Dance, I'm going to be honest with you, was something to watch. I mean, to be honest with you, to talk about Michael Jordan, his career with the Bulls, and then the turmoil with Jerry Krause, the owner of the Chicago Bulls. So, let's see who's in there. Okay, Eric MIA, thanks for that $100 and that popcorn. I thank you for sending me that. I appreciate the popcorn. So I say this. Look, it's going to be look. They're going to see like the Madden tournaments. The Madden tournaments that's on ESPN networks. The Madden tournaments, and then you also have the soccer tournaments that the video games. So they're going to be getting some ratings as well. So once again, this is from ESPN. You go to ESPN.com. It's ESPN.com. Okay, let's see what else we'll discuss. Okay, Tokyo organizers, the IOC at odds. Who's pays massive costs for the Olympic postponement? That's what they're talking about in this article. hopefully right now, the Olympics, I'm going to be honest with you right now, they're not going to be going on this year. They'll go on next year in 2021. So that's the first time in the Olympic history that the Olympics is going to be postponed. I mean, sure, World War II was going on, and they had they had the Olympics back then. But the truth of the matter is, look, this coronavirus right now is absolutely costing lives and costing um, money with the sports and the businesses and stuff like that. So that's the tip of the icebergs right there. Let's go ahead and play this video. I'm going to listen to this video, so let me go ahead and do that for you.
To be honest with you, I don't think Olympic is likely to be held next year, if held any time. Holding Olympics needs two conditions. One, controlling the COVID-19 in Japan, and controlling the COVID-19 everywhere. Because you have to invite the athletes and the audience from all over the world. Unlike other sports events where 40, 50, 60 nations gather, Olympic Games are from hundreds of nations, and you have to invite so many athletes from many, many places, which is not very compatible with these COVID-19 infections, which is causing a pandemic.
Well, I agree with the guy. I agree with him. I absolutely agree with what he says. Look, it may not be held next. It may be held next. May not be held next year. Hopefully, it does. But a lot of people's going to be getting the cost of this Olympics. A lot of people. I mean, I know that the Olympics is going to be lose a lot of revenue with money, with the commercials and stuff like that running during the Olympics and stuff like that. So that's an unfortunate situation. So tell me what you think about this. Who you think should cover the cost? You can post your comments through Sportscaster, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. All the platforms today. So if you're in here, let me see. We're seeing 13 people on this one. That's good. I like what I'm seeing in the rooms today. Okay, let's see what else we'll discuss. I'm gonna go over some more stuff here on ESPN. I'll scroll down some more. Okay, this is what we're talking about here. Okay, let's pull this up. This is the quarterback. This is from ESPN. The quarterback line stats quiz. That's what they're talking about here. This is what we're showing you. Pick the most valuable quarterback by college stats. Is it quarterback 1 or quarterback 2? That's what they're talking about in this one. So Aaron Rodgers and Tony Romo, this is one of them. Incorrect. Joe Burrow is the most accurate. Yeah, I think so. This is another one. 2 out of 7. Picked most valuable NFL quarterback by college stats. Number 2. Yep. Breeze is has a weight career of 166 comparison. That's what he's talking about. Tua Tabola. So that's another one. So this is a pop quiz. If you want to talk about this, is what they tell you in this pop quiz. So if you want to go on there and do that, that's from ESPN. Yeah, let's see what else we'll talk about here. I'm watching the screens, making sure everybody's okay, let's go ahead and go over some local headlines here in the area. Okay, let's pull this up to the screen. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Okay, after 53 years of Saints drafts, here's all-time roster, one player of each class. This is what they're talking about. This is from Zach Irwin. He's an assistant um, sports editor here with The Advocate, so you can follow him at The Advocate. Let me go ahead and show you his article on the screen. So we got everything on the screen. So that's what they're talking about. This is they're talking about the rosters with the Saints. Two quarterbacks. This is what quarterbacks is two. Archie Manning was one of them. He was selected, and also Steve Ramsey in the 5th round by North Texas. The running backs, it would be four. The running backs was Ricky Williams back in 1999, Chuck Muncie back in 1976 by Cal, Deuce McAllister by Ole Miss, Fred McAfee by Mississippi College. That was a Division III college, so Fred McAfee was picked by them. When Dichter traded away the entire Saints draft to overhaul for Ricky Williams. That to me was a bad situation right there to get Ricky Williams. Now, apologies to Dalton Hilliard, Craig Hayward, Mark Ingram, Alvin Kamara. So that was the ones right there. So that's apologies going out. Now, wide receivers. That's what they're talking about. Wide receivers. The Saints drafted back in those 53 years. Michael Thomas back in 2016 from Ohio State. Wes Chandler for in 1978 with Florida. Eric Martin with LSU. Brett Perryman with Miami. Brandon Cooks back in 2014 with Oregon State. Torrance Small back in 1992 with Alcorn State. So that's the ones that they've been picking for wide receiver in the NFL draft in those last 53 years. So let's go over some more. Okay, now the apologies to John Gilmore. That's John Gillen. That's the one who returned the kick back in 1967 to open at Tulane Stadium. The Saints football season back then. Okay, these are the draftees back in when the Saints began. Back in let's see, Danny DeBrummer was on the first team back in 1967. Ken Burrups, if I'm saying his name right, back in 70. Wes Chandler back in 78. And LSU product Debbie Henderson back in 2004. Marcus Colston was also on that. Now the tight ends. This is what we're going to be discussing. Tight ends that the Saints draft back in since the for 53 years of the drafts. Jimmy Graham back in 2010 from Miami. John Tice from Maryland. So John Tice played for the Saints back in 1983. Apologies to Paul Seelback. He was drafted in 1974. Now offensive tackles, 6 of them. 6 offensive tackles. Okay, Willie Rope was selected by Louisiana Tech back in 1993. And then Teron Armstead back in 2013 from Arkansas Pine Bluff. Kyle Turley from San Diego State. Jamar Brown in 2005 from Oklahoma. John Stinscomb in 2003 with Georgia. Dave Lafferty back in 1977 with Purdue. So he was with Purdue, and that's the offensive tackles that was drafted in the roster in the 53-year history of the Saints. Apologies to Stan Brock. Stan Brock was what's called above arrest. He was a good offensive lineman with the Saints. Zach Street back in 2006. Ryan Remchek in 2017. So now the guards. This is what we're talking about, guards. They picked 3 guards. Let's go ahead and go through them. Andres Pete and Jamon Bushride back in 2007. Chris Nioli back in 1997 from Colorado. Now, I apologize to John Shiner back in 1969. He was drafted by the Saints. Also, Terry Stribe back in 76. Brad Elliman back in 1982. Jim Dombrowski, he was another guy with the Saints. So that's what they're. And LaCharles Bentley back in 2002. Jari Evans back in 2006. And Carl Nix back in 2008 was drafted. So that's the apologies they're talking about. Now, centers. Jay Hilgenberg back in 1984. Oh, we're going back, way back, baby. 1984. He was the 4th round pick from Iowa. Eric McCoy back in 2019. So it was a year ago. He was picked from Texas A&M. Hilgenberg was undersized, but nevertheless a key piece of the offensive line. That's what he was. He was on the first Saints playoff team when they went to the playoffs back in '87, and then back in 1992 was in the Saints Hall of Fame. Now, Steve Quartz. That's the guy that does the post pregame show for the Saints. That's on WWL. He was drafted back in 1983. Steve Quartz. Now, the defensive linemen. We're going to be talking about this, okay, very closely. Cam Jordan, back in 11, he was picked by Cal. Will Smith was picked by Ohio State. Wayne Martin back in 1989 by Arkansas. Dave Rowe from 1967, he was in the 2nd round. Akeem Nicks back in 2012 from Virginia College. Dylan Moore from Oklahoma. Charles Grant back in 2002 by Georgia. Also, Elois Grooms from Tennessee. Also, back in 1969, Richard Neal played for the Saints. He was drafted by Southern Miss. And Marcus Davenport back in 2018 by Texas UTSA. So, and let's go to the apologies ones. We'll give you the apologies. Okay, the apology goes out to Doug Sutherland back in 1970. He was drafted by the Saints. They didn't mention him. Bill Poland in 1971. Jim Wilkes back in 1981. Joe Johnson back in 1994. And let's see. Rob Ninkovich back in 2006. That's one of them. That's the apologies. Now we're going to go over the linebackers. Let's see who's on his Facebook. Now we're going to go over the linebackers. So let's begin with our linebacker breakdown. Okay. Of the Saints roster that they drafted players. Ricky Jackson back in 1981 from Pittsburgh. Pat Swilling from Georgia Tech. He was from Georgia. Ronaldo Turnbull in 1990 from West Virginia. Mark Fields from Washington State. Um, Wilfred Tubbs from Texas. And Jim Kovach, as Kobeach, from Kentucky. So that's the 6 linebackers that they did draft. Special apologies go out to Joe Federspro, if I'm saying it right. Jim Mello, if I'm saying his name, and Jack Del Rio, back in 1985. He played with the Saints, Jack Del Rio. Now the cornerbacks. We're going to go over the cornerbacks now. We're going to be going over cornerbacks. Okay, that the Saints picked. Marshawn Lattimore, first round from Ohio State. Terry Porter from Indiana. Terry Schultz back in Terry Smith, I'm saying his name. Terry Smith back in 1974 with Ball State. Gene Howard back in 1968 with Langston College. And Alex Molden in 1996 with Oregon. That's the 5 cornerbacks that was selected by the Saints that they premiered. So let's scroll this down. Let's see. Apologies go out to Dallas Howell. He was drafted in 70. He was a standout from Grambling. And Torrance Cook from back in 87. Now, safeties. Tom Myers back in 1972 was picked by Syracuse. Roman Harper was picked by Alabama, by the Saints from Alabama. Dave Wehmeyer back in 1980. Also, Gene Atkins back in 1987. He was picked by Florida A&M. Gene Atkins. So that was your safeties right there. Now, special apologies go out to Vince Buck, Malcolm Jenkins. He was left off, so that was the left off categories. Now, your punters. Thomas Morstead was picked from SMU. He played back in 2009, so he was drafted by from SMU. Special apologies go out to Brian Hansen. That was one of the most punters right there, Brian Hansen with the Saints back in '84. Now, Morton Anderson was picked by from Michigan State. He was one of the Saints. Now, long snapper was Kevin Hauser from Ohio State. So now the this is the kick returners and punt returners. Those years back in 1967, Dave Roll was the like I said, defensive tackle, 2nd round from Penn State. Gene Howard from back in '68. This is the year-by-year list. Back in '69, Richard Neal was also picked by. He came out of Southern. Archie Manning was picked in '71. Tom Myers was picked back in '72. He's a free safety. Dylan Moore back in 1973. Terry Smith from Ball State. So these are the guys that were kick returners and safeties and stuff like that. So we're going to scroll down. Now the last one was Eric McCoy. So once again, This is from Saints coverage here on NOAA.com. Go to Zach Irwin is the writer of this article, so please follow him. It's pretty good work. So we'll switch this out. See what else we'll talk about today. Okay, let's see. Pull this up. Okay, worth the wait. When Patrick Queen choose linebacker stardom as followed. That's what they're saying in this article. So I think if he does get picked, I'm pretty sure they're going to pick him between, I say, the second or probably the 5th round. Pick your poison. That's what I'm predicted for Patrick Queen to be selected in the NFL draft. I say between the 5th round or the 2nd round, or maybe you could say the 3rd round. So this is from Robin Fambro. You can reach her at The Advocate. That's The Advocate in Baton Rouge. So we're looking at this article. So if you want to comment about this article, you can. You can via the Sportscaster, Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch platforms. So we'll see you in there. We got all 4 chat rooms running, and also Sportscaster. Okay, let's go ahead and okay, LSU will host Hofstra back to host Hofstra in 2020. That's what they're talking about in this article. LSU has scheduled Hofstra for 2020 season according to game contract conducted by The Advocate. John Rothstein reported about it. LSU will host the Pride on December 22nd, 7th, and will pay Hofstra $97,000 to play the game. So they're going to be playing Hofstra. So hopefully the season will start, but they will. That's who they was going to play is Hofstra. Coach Will Wade made it, and Coach Matt LeBlanc, the assistant associate athletic director, made it official. So they will be paying additional due to the coronavirus clause, the game contract within the. So this was the games that was going to be. These are the LSU's games scheduled for April 21st, or ULM that will be on November 10th. North Texas will be on November 17th. Louisiana Tech, November 24th. Then they will play VCU, which is on Thanksgiving weekend on November 29th. Also, they'll participate in a Howell Hoops showcase on December 12th, and also they'll have the Gotham tournament in December. So this is the 2020 schedule, 2021. So 20. So for LSU's 2020 season. So I think this Hofstra game is going to help out LSU in the long run, because look, they need some significant competition to get their net rating up and their RPI up as they go. Because look, if you schedule these games, it'll be a positive impact on that schedule for this coming season, if they do have a season. So Once again, this is from the Advocate. You go to the Advocate. That's Amy Just. You can reach her there. Okay, let's see what else we'll discuss. I'm going to go ahead and go to this. I'm going to go to this question. Okay, should the Saints add another safety through the draft? I'm pretty sure they will most likely will select a safety this Thursday night in the NFL draft because the Saints are picking 24th. So I think in the first round they most likely will go safety or offensive lineman or defensive lineman or the whole 9 yards. What I'm talking about here. So should they do it? Yeah, I think they should because that adds depth to the secondary. That adds depth to the secondary. So once again, this is from Amy Just. You can reach her at the Advocate. So let's go ahead and scroll this out, and we'll see what else we'll discuss. Okay, this is what they're talking about, the story of Joe Burrow and Ed Orgeron arrived at LSU, part 2. This is from Jeffrey Marks. They talked about him, the young man, Joe Burrow, coming to LSU on a transfer. So this is what they're talking about in this. This is Poet-winning Jeffrey Marks discusses the Walk with the Tigers book. So you can go look at his book and subscribe to him. It talks about Joe Burrow's beginnings and Ed Orgeron as beginnings as well. With so this is from once again the Advocate. You go to the Advocate on the internet. So let me see what else we can discuss here. Okay, let's see. Saints, LSU, and NFL draft 7 Tigers in mock draft round 1. A popular Saints pick, Delpit Falls. That's what they're talking about. This is from Jeff Nowick. You can reach him at the Advocate. That's the Advocate. So that's what they're talking about. This is on the highs and lows right here. Joe Burrow. Most common will be picked by the Bengals. Also, Justin Jefferson by the Eagles. Calvin Chasson by Dallas. Patrick Queen by the Saints. I think they're going to pick Patrick Queen if the draft goes right. This is another one. They will. Christian Fulton will go to the Raiders, most likely 15th, so he'll be a 15th pick. So let's see. Grant Delpit, 20th, that most likely will be the Jaguars. And Lawrence Kutzberry, same thing. So these are your picks right here. So I'll say this. So all the LSU players are going to be picked up in the draft. Because LSU will have the most players going in the first round. Hopefully that will be the case for LSU. So okay, Grant Delpit clocked at 4.39 at his pro day. So this is what they're going to be talking about right here. LSU in the first round, Joe Burrow, Justin Jefferson, Calvin Chasson, Chasson, Christian Fulton, Grant Dalpert, Orange Kuchenberry. Looks like he's going to be going to the Chiefs or going to the now round 2. This is what they're going to be talking about. Round 2 and beyond. Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be either the 13th or 15th. It goes all the way to 76th pick for him. Now, for Lawrence Kuchenberry, it goes all the way up to 141. It can be at 141, or he can be as high as 13. Now, for Rashawn Lawrence, they're selecting him. They say 6 to 15. It's going to be picked 90. I would say in those ranges, right? I would say between 6 and 15. I would kind of agree with the 6 and 15. Now, Sadiq Charles, same thing. 6 of 15, picked 108, 116, 116, 132, 191, 234. Most likely he will be picked between, I say about 106. He probably most likely be 106 pick. So that's just the norm right there with these guys. Queen. Now for Queen, I'm gonna say he's gonna be between 7 and 20th. If I was a betting man. So now the draft roundup. This is what they're going to be talking about. Bengals.com has Joe Burrow number 1. Buccaneers have Kelvin Chasson at number 14. Christian Fulton at 19. Justin Jefferson at 20th with the Jaguars. And also the Saints 24th with Patrick Queen. Now, Brian Ardello, if I'm saying his name right, has Kelvin Chasson with the Falcons, Kristen Fulton with the Raiders, Justin Jefferson with the Packers, and Patrick Queen with the LSU, with Saints. So that's your picks right there. That's the experts we're talking about. Now the next guy is Will Brinson. Will Brinson, we'll go over his. He has Joe Burrow at number 1 going to the Bengals. He also has Justin Jefferson going to the Eagles. Also, he has Christian Fulton going to the 49ers. Kenneth Murphy going to the Saints. And Kelvin Chasson going to Seattle, and Patrick Queen going to the Ravens. So I kind of agree with Will Brinson on this one right here, with Patrick Queen going there. But if the Saints pick him, that will be the key for that. Now Ryan Williams from CBS Sports. Let's go ahead and scroll this down. You're in here. I'm looking at some where LSU players are going to be picked. This is the writers I'm looking at. I'm going over them right now. Joe Burrow will be picked by the Bengals, so everybody it's agreement that Joe Burrow will be picked by the Bengals. Kelvin Chasson with the Cowboys. Vikings will go with Justin Jefferson. Saints will go with Jordan Love. Well, I think that would be a good pick right there, Jordan Love, to be honest with you. That'll be another Taysom Hill, 2.3. Also, Patrick Queen going to the Ravens again. So I think that's most likely going to be, they're going to be on board. So 2 of them says Ravens for Patrick Queen. Now, Kristen Fulton will go to the Titans. So that's one of them. So we're going to be going over these let's see, All White from CBS Sports has once again Joe Burrow #1 going to the Bengals. Kelvin Chason going to the Cowboys. The Raiders are getting Patrick Queen. The Eagles getting Justin Jefferson. The Saints getting Kenneth Murphy and Christian Fulton. Now the next one, Tom Fornelli. Tom Fornelli is one of them. He's got Joe Burrow at LSU. Broncos getting Justin Jefferson. Redskins getting Kelvin Chason. And Raiders getting Christian Fulton. And also the Saints are getting Denzel Mims from Baylor. Miami getting Grant Delpert from and the Ravens getting Patrick Queen from LSU. So I'm gonna say this: it's been a couple of them that's saying Ravens, of them saying So let's go over some more. We're gonna go over some more here. Okay. Let's see. Josh Edwards from CBS Sports has Burrow going to Cincinnati, so everybody's on board with that. The Falcons getting Kelvin Chason. The Vikings getting Justin Jefferson. The Saints getting Patrick Queen. So some of them are saying Saints are going to get Patrick Queen. So these are the experts right here that that's predicting this. I mean, it's not me. I mean, I would say differently if I had the inside the store. That's what they'll have. So now let's go over some more. Christian Knox from Bleacher Report has Joe Burrow going to the Redskins. The Broncos have Justin Jefferson, 15th pick overall. Also, Minnesota has Christian Fulton, 22nd pick, and 24th pick will be Patrick Queen. He will go to the Saints. Now the New York Post. Let's go over that. Let's go over the New York Post predictions. Joe Burrow once again will go to the Bengals. Kelvin Chason to the Cowboys. Jaguars will get Justin Jefferson. Saints will get Patrick Queen. So I'm agreeing with that. With this New York Post article, will be Patrick Queen going there. So that most likely will happen in this article. Let me see who's in here. Let me look. I see two new. Check this out. All right, we are going to be looking. Okay, once again, we got, let's see who you are. GAB 8967. Thanks for joining us here on this show. You want to comment about this, where you think LSU players will land? You can post your comments as well on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, Twitch, and now Sportscaster. So you can post your comments. I'm open it to you. I mean, look, I know I'm listening. I'm going over this, and I want to see yours. So, okay, let's go over some more. My Howell plans has Burrow going to LSU, Kelvin Chason to the Falcons. Let's see, Grant Delpit going to the Jaguars. Patrick Queen going to the Eagles. Vikings getting Justin Jefferson, 22nd pick. Cesar Rulas from Michigan will go to the Saints. So that's going to be an offensive lineman. And Christian Fulton will go to the Minnesota Vikings. So the Minnesota Vikings will get Jefferson, and that's what they're saying in this selection. Jefferson and Fulton. In 22nd and 25th picks. So let's see what else will Now the Detroit Free Press. Detroit Free Press up in Detroit has Joe Burrow going to the Bengals, first pick overall. Kelvin Chason, 17th pick with the Dallas Cowboys. Christian Fulton to the Raiders, 19th pick overall. Patrick Queen. How you doing next? What's going on? What's going on next? We're going over some LSU players that's going to be drafted in the NFL. We're just going over that right now. So if you're looking at it on the screen on Twitter, that's what we're going over. You want to comment about this, you can. Okay, let's go continue. Let's see. Justin Jefferson to the Vikings, 25th pick overall. This is from the Detroit Free Press. And Grant Delpit going to the Miami Dolphins, 26th pick overall. So there are tons of players that are going to go. That's a lot of LSU players most likely will be going to the NFL. So that's the norm right there. All right. See what else. The Action Network. It's a betting site. We use these. We'll go over those. Okay. They have Burrow going to the Bengals. Kelvin Chason going to Cowboys. Justin Jefferson going to the Raiders. Kristen Fulton, 20th, going to the Jaguars. Jordan Love going to the Saints. So they have, some of them have in favor of Jordan Love. Let's see. Patrick Queen going to the Baltimore Ravens at 28th. So now let's go over to the next couple of sections. Okay, these we're going to go through this the whole time. Okay, the Dog Pound Daily. Dog Pound Daily is one of those blogs. You can follow those people as well. Okay, they're saying Joe Burrow will be picked number 1, so everybody is on board. I'm kind of looking at this. Kelvin Chason will go to the Falcons. Kristen Fulton will go to the Jaguars, 20th. Justin Jefferson, 22nd, will go to the Vikings. And once again, Patrick Queen going to the Saints, 24th. So they're going. Everybody's right now eyeing on Patrick Queen going to the Saints. Everybody, mostly on this from these sports industries. So the Las Vegas Review Journal. That's one in Las Vegas. I'm reading this one. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Joe Burrow once again 1 going to the Bengals. Broncos will get Justin Jefferson. Kelvin Chason to the Cowboys, 17th. Kristen Fulton, 20th. Jaguars. And once again, Patrick Queen, 24th. LSU. So they're going to get these players drafted. So now this is from Ray Larkin. You can reach him at Sports Illustrated. We'll go through his as we go. I know this is about an hour and a half, so I know this is we got to go through this, so we're just gonna go. Okay, Sports Illustrated has Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. Kelvin Chason to the Cowboys at 17. At 21st, Justin Jefferson going to the Eagles. Let's see. Vikings have Kristen Fulton going 22nd. Kenneth Murphy will be picked 24th, and Patrick Queen will be picked 28th, and that will be the Ravens pick. Now, another Sports Illustrated guy we're going to show you. Okay, his name is Marcus Morales Smith. You can follow him at SI as well. Let's see. Joe Burrow, once again, Bengals. So we know it's an agreement with that. Cowboys will get Calvin Chasen. So it looks like they're going with the Cowboys at 17. Justin Jefferson will most likely will go to the Saints at 24th. Patrick Queen will go to the Ravens at 28th. And Christian Fulton will go to the Chiefs at 32nd. So it most likely, I think Sports Illustrated will try to. So it's all sports writers from all the sports industries. We're displaying here today. Now the Los Angeles Times, that's up in LA. Their beat writers, their picks is clear. They once again Joe Burrow, Bengals. Falcons will pick Calvin Chasen. 20th will be the Jaguars, and they'll get Christian Fulton. 21st will be the Eagles, and they'll get Justin Jefferson. And Patrick Queen will go to the Saints at 24. And Grant Delpit at 26 will go to the Dolphins. So that's for the Los Angeles Times beat writers. Okay, the Palm Beach Post up in, I think it's Florida or something like that. We'll have Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. The Falcons getting Calvin Chasen. Let's see. 21st, we'll get Justin Jefferson for the Eagles. The Eagles will have him. And the Saints will get Grant Delpit. So that's what they're picking right there. Grant Delpit will go to the Saints 24th. Now Patrick Queen will go 30th with the Packers. So let's go over some more. AtlantaFalcons.com says Joe Burrow will go to the Bengals. Calvin Chasen to the Dolphins. Let's see. The Raiders will pick Patrick Queen 19th. 24th will be Christian Fulton. Will be with the Saints 24th. And the Seahawks will have Justin Jefferson at 27. So that's their pick right there. That's what the Atlanta Falcons side. Now we'll go over to Fox News. Fox News is picks. We'll go over their picks. Okay, Fox News will have Joe Burrow once again to the Bengals. Calvin Chasen to the Falcons. The Jaguars will have Grant Delpit 20th. The Minnesota Vikings will get Justin Jefferson 22nd. And the Saints will get J.K. Dobbs from a running back from Ohio State. So they're selecting a running back 24th. So, and then Patrick Queen will go 31st to the 49ers. Now, let's go over to For the Win. For the Win, we still got a long way to go here. So we'll get this done. Okay, For the Win has Joe Burrow once again to the Bengals. Saints will pick Justin Herbert from Oregon. That's a very interesting pick right there at number 15. Also, number 19 will be Christian Fulton. Will go to the Raiders. And let's see. Number 23 will go. The Patriots will pick Justin Jefferson, and the Seahawks will pick Calvin Chasen at 27. So that's For the Wins. NFL.com. This is NFL.com. Has Saints players and LSU players. So we're going over some more stuff. Let's begin with that. Okay, let's pull this up. Okay, NFL.com has once again borrowed with the Bengals, so everybody's in agreement. It's all with the writers and stuff. The Jaguars most likely will pick Calvin Chasen, 20th. Also, Patrick Queen will go to the Eagles, 21st. Justin Jefferson will go to the Vikings, 22nd. And the Saints will pick Brandon Ayuk. It's Aiyuk. If I'm spelling his name right, he's from Arizona State, so he will be picked 24. Now, this is from Bucky Brooks from NFL.com. It's another writer with NFL.com. He has once again Joe Burrow to the Bengals. Cowboys have Calvin Chasen, 17th. Let's see. Patrick Queen will go 19th with the Raiders. And Christian Fulton goes to the Vikings. And this is a very interesting pick here at 24. Jordan Love will most likely will go to the Saints. So I think if that's going to happen, that's probably going to. It is what it is. And once again, Justin Jefferson will get the nod. He will go to the Vikings. Will be at 25th. Now, Daniel Jeremiah is another guy with NFL.com. We're going to discuss these right now. Okay. Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. Cowboys at 17th will pick Calvin Chasen. Also, Justin Jefferson will be picked by the Jaguars. That was NFLs.com, Daniel Jeremiah. Also, the Saints will pick Patrick Queen, so he's on board with Patrick Queen at 24th. Now, Stadium has another, and their guys put out their selections. They will go with Joe Burrow with the Bengals. The Dolphins will get Grant Delpit at 18th. Christian Fulton at 19th with the Raiders. Jordan Love at 24th. So most likely they will go with Jordan Love at 24th. The Lions will pick Calvin Chasen at 26th. Patrick Queen at 28th. And the Packers will pick 30th, and they will get Justin Jefferson. So this is on round 6, so we're going through all the rounds. So I know this is a long. I know this is long, but we have to do this. So okay, the Washington Times, one more, has Joe Burrow going to the Bengals, Calvin Chasen to the Broncos. Jaguars have Justin Jefferson and Patrick Queen going to the Saints at 24. Yes. So these are the multi-rounds that they was talking about. Real GM. This is Real GM. This is another site. It's a reputable site on the internet. I know you gotta try to see if you can trust these sites. Because some of the sites that's putting out this information most likely doesn't have. So let's go over those the Real GM's round 1, round 2 selection. Joe Burrow will be selected by the Bengals. Bengals will pick Calvin Chasen. Broncos will pick Justin Jefferson, and the Saints will pick Jalen Johnson from Utah. And Christian Fulton will go to the Dolphins at 26. This is from Real GM. Now, round 2. Round two, 33rd will be Patrick Queen at the Bengals, so he most likely will go there at 33rd. 49th will be Lawrence Kuchenberry with the Pittsburgh Steelers. 53rd will be Grant Delpit going to the Eagles. And let's see. Um, 61st overall most likely will go to Clyde Edwards-Helaire with LSU. Now, let's go over the CBS Sports round one and round two coverage. Okay, round one, they will have Joe Burrow at the Bengals. Kelvin Chasen will be picked 17th. Grant Delpit will be picked 20th by the Jaguars. Also, the Eagles will pick Justin Jefferson 21st. And also 22nd, the Dallas Cowboys will select Christian Fullerton, and the Saints will pick AJ Expeller, as ESPEN SA. Espala, if I'm saying it right, I don't want to butcher his last name, so he's going to be picked. Now, round two, Patrick Queen will go to the Bengals. Now, this is what they're talking about. This is more. We're going through some more of these. Fantasy Pros, this is another one. The Bengals will select Joe Burrow. The Cowboys will select Christian Fullerton. The Dolphins at 18th will pick Kelvin Chasen. And the Vikings at 22nd will pick Justin Jefferson. And the Saints will pick Patrick Queen. Now, round two. We'll go to round two's draft predictions. We're going to go through these right now. Okay, let's see. Grant Delpit going to the Detroit Lions at 35th in the second round. Also, Lawrence Kuchenberry, the second round will be picked by the Rams. And the Chiefs will pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 63rd. Now, Mel Kiper puts out some pretty good stuff as well. Mel Kiper has, let's go ahead and look at his big board. Okay, he has Joe Burrow number one with the Bengals. 15th by Justin Jefferson with the Broncos. 16th, the Falcons will get Kelvin Chasen. The Saints will get AJ Terrell from Clemson. Also, the Ravens will get Patrick Queen. So, I mean, look, I for one kind of agree with some of these guys, and I absolutely disagree with some of these guys. That these players that these LSU players are going to be picked by these teams. Now, round two, we'll go over round two. Christian Fulton will be picked by the Panthers, 38 overall. Grant Delpit, 41st to the Browns. And the Rams will pick Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 52nd. Now, let's go over round one and round two and round three. Tankathon, you can go to Tankathon. That's a website. These are all reputable sites doing NFL draft season. Okay, let's see. Joe Burrow will go to the Bengals. The Falcons will get Kelvin Chasen at 16th. Let's see. Justin Jefferson, 20th with the Jaguars. 24th, Christian Fulton. And the Saints will get Patrick Queen. That's going to be in round one. Now, round two will be Grant Delpit with the Panthers. And Lawrence Kuchenberry with the Chiefs, 63rd. Now, round three. The Cardinals will get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 72nd. The Saints will get Jacob Easton. It most likely will at 88 in the third round. And 92nd pick and will be Jacob Phillips, and he will go to the Ravens. So let's go over some more. This is Rudaball. Rudaball is Rudaballer. It's one of those sites that's around, telling you where they're going to go, where they're not going to go. Okay, Rudaballer in round one has Joe Burrow with the Bengals. Let's see. The Broncos will get Justin Jefferson. The Dolphins will get Kelvin Chasen. The Saints will get Jordan Love. That's going to be at 24. And the Ravens will get Patrick Queen with the Ravens. That's from Rudaballer. Now, in round two, Kristen Fulton will go to the Panthers at 38th pick overall. 39th will be Grant Delphin. He will go to the Miami Dolphins. 63rd, Clyde Edwards-Helaire will go to the Chiefs. Let's see. In round three, Lawrence Kuchenberry will go to the Dolphins. Damian Lewis will go to the Raiders. He's from LSU. And the Saints will pick Troy Dye from Oregon. He's a linebacker. 88th overall. Now, let's go over the rounds 1, 2, and 3 with CBS Sports' Dan Snyder. You can reach him at CBS Sports. Joe Burrow will be picked number 1 by the Bengals. The Panthers will pick Patrick Queen at 14. Also, Kristen Fullerton will be selected by the Jaguars. That's going to be 20th. The Patriots will select Justin Jefferson at 23rd. Kelvin Chasen will be selected 25th by the Minnesota Vikings. And the Kansas City Chiefs will select Grant Delpit, 32nd. Let's see, I'm going to pull this up. I'll go over some more. Okay, round 2 will be Lawrence Kuchenberry, 63rd overall to the Chiefs. This is from Dan Snyder and CBS Sports. Round 3, Clyde Edwards-Helaire will go to the Buccaneers, 76 overall. Damian Lewis will go to the Saints, 88th pick in the third round. And also Sadiq Charles will go to the New England Patriots. Now the Draft Network, this is what they're talking about. This is another Draft Network rounds 1. This is 3 through 10. First round will be Joe Burrow to the Bengals, Kristen Fulton to the Falcons. Let's see. 49ers Justin Jefferson will be picked by the 17th. 21st will be Kelvin Chasen. He will go to the Titans. And Kenneth Murphy will go 24th. And he's from Oklahoma. Also, Patrick Queen will go to the Eagles, 29th. So that's from the Draft Network. This is round 2. We'll go over round 2. Okay, round 2 will be Grant Delpit going to the Browns, 41st. Clyde Edwards-Helaire will go to the Buccaneers, 45th pick. Also, let's see. The Dolphins will get Lawrence Kuchenberry. It's another guy. Now, round 3. Let's go over the round 3 networks. Round 3. Okay, Damian Lewis will be picked by the Lions, 85th overall. Jalen Hurts will most likely be picked 88, so they're picking that. I think that I don't agree with that. Hopefully, they don't go that route on their draft board. Also, the Steelers will select Sadiq Charles, 102 overall. Now, the Draft Network. We'll go over the Draft Network's picks. Okay, the Draft Network has Joe Burrow going to Cincinnati, Grant Delpit to the Jaguars. Um, let's say Calvin Chasson to the Patriots, Patrick Queen going to the Saints, Justin Jefferson at 25th going to the Vikings, and Christian Fulton going to the Chiefs at 32nd. Now round two. We'll go over round two. Round two, Clyde Edwards-Helaire will be 60th pick, and he will go to the Ravens. 63rd pick will go to Lawrence Kusenberry, and it'll be with the Chiefs. Also, round three, Damian Lewis will go 71st with the Dolphins. Darnay Holmes will go to the Saints at 88th in the third round. Also, Rashard Lewis will go 101st with the Seahawks. Now in round four. This is round four. Round four, we'll have Sadiq Charles going to the Redskins. Davius Moss going to the Colts at 122nd. And the Saints will pick KJ Hill from Ohio State, 130th. Now, round five. We'll go over round five. Saints will pick J.R. Reed from Georgia, 169th overall. That's in the fifth round. Now, sixth round. Let's see. 200 pick will go to Jacob Phillips. He will go to the 49ers. Joseph Colnier, if I'm saying his name right, will be picked 203rd overall by the Ole Miss Rebels, by the Saints, excuse me. Saints. He's from Ole Miss. Okay, seventh pick will go to the Giants, and that will be Stephen Sullivan, 218th overall. Seventh round pick. Okay, let's go to Sports Illustrated. This is from Kevin Hansen. You can follow him at si.com. We'll go ahead and go over his picks. Number one will be Joe Burrow. Falcons will get Kellen Mcchassin. Raiders will get Kristen Fulton. Justin Jefferson will go to the Eagles. And Patrick Queen will go to the Saints, 24. Okay, round two. Grant Delpit will go to the Seahawks at 34th. 49th will be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he will go to the Steelers. And 52nd will go to Lawrence Kusenberry, and it will be to the Rams. Now, round three. Damian Lewis will go to the Dolphins at 70th. He's from LSU. Okay, Donovan Peoples-Jones will be drafted 88th, and he will come to the Saints. He's from Michigan. Round four, Sadiq Charles will go to the Jaguars. Saints will get Jason Strawbridge from North Carolina. He's 130th pick, so that's going to be in round four. This is from SI. So let's go over some more. Okay, next one is going to be Rashard Lewis, and he's going to be going to the Dolphins. 169th pick overall is going to be John Reed from Penn State. And let's go round six. Jacob Phillips will go to LSU. And Tremaine Ormrum, you know I'm saying his name right. He is going to Clemson. No, not Clemson. Saints. Excuse me. I keep saying the wrong name. Clemson. Going to the Saints. 203rd. So, 7th is no picks. So that is we'll go over the last couple of picks here, and we'll call this a day. I know this is getting long and treacherous. I'm trying to go through this. Okay, let's go over these picks real quickly. Bengals will select. This is for Sports Illustrated's Logan. Lamore. I'm saying his name right. I don't want to butcher his name. They will. He will. He's got Joe Burrow at the Bengals. He has the Cowboys picking Christian Fullerton. He also has the Jaguars picking Kelvin Chasen. Also, this is in round one. Patrick Queen will go to the Saints. And let's see. Packers will pick Justin Jefferson at 30th. Now, round two. Let's go over round two. Grant Delpit will go to the Giants at 36. Lawrence Kuchiberi will go at 43rd to the Bears. And Damian Lewis will go 59th overall. And he will go to the Seahawks. Now, let's see. Round three. Dolphins will get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, 70th with the Miami Dolphins. Jalen Hurts from Oklahoma will come to the Saints at 88th. Round four will be Rashard Lewis, and he will go to the Browns, 115th. Clennea Davis, wide receiver, will go to the Saints at 130. Sadiq Charles will go to the Minnesota Vikings at 132nd. And Davius Moss will go to the Ravens at 134th in round four. Now, round five, the Saints will pick Dane Jackson from Pittsburgh. Round six, the Panthers will pick Stephen Sullivan. The Jets will pick Jacob Phillips. And at 203rd, the Saints will pick Julian Blackmon from Utah. So next one is 237, and that's Michael DeBenedy. He will go to the Tennessee Titans. So that's in the 7th round of the NFL draft. Now the next ones we're going to go over is from Chad Reuters. You can reach him at NFL.com. Let's see. Burrow, once again, everybody's once again 90% going with Joe Burrow, and but the Falcons will select Kelvin Chasen. Vikings will select Justin Jefferson. The Saints will select Austin Jackson from USC. That's going to be 24th. Ravens are going to pick Patrick Queen at 28th. The Titans will pick Christian Fulton at 29th. Lawrence Kuchiberi will go at 32nd with the Chiefs. Now, round two. Let's go over round two. Round two, Grant Delpit will go to the Lions, 35th overall. Clyde Edwards-Helaire will go to the Bills, 54th pick. 69th pick will go to Damian Lewis, and he will go to the Panthers. Now, round four will be 107. Jacob Phillips will be selected by the Bengals. The Texans will select Rashard Lawrence. And also, the Ravens will pick Davius Morris at 129th. The Saints will pick Bryce Hall from Virginia. Now, in round five, let's go over round five. Round five, the Redskins will select Stephen Sullivan, 162nd. Also, the Saints will pick Colin Johnson from Texas, 169th. Round seven, no picks. Okay, this is from Draft Track. So we're going to go through all these on Draft Track. So we got a couple of more to do. So I know it's been a long since we started. Okay, we've been doing this for 2 hours. So let's go over this real quickly, get this done. The Bengals will select from Draft Track Joe Burrow, Kelvin Chasen to the Falcons, Christian Fulton to the Cowboys. Jaguars will pick Patrick Queen. Jordan Love will be picked 24th. Ravens will pick Justin Jefferson at 28th. Now, round 2. This is from DraftTrack.com. DraftTrack.com. Panthers will select Grant Delpit at 38. Lawrence Kuchibari will go 46 to the Broncos. Let's see. Damian Lewis will go to the Dolphins at 56. Third round selections will go to the Buccaneers, and that'll be Clyde Edwards-Helaire at 76. Tyler Johnson at 88 will go to the Saints. Rashard Lawrence at 95 will go to the Broncos. Now round 4. Okay, round 4, we'll go over round 4. 113th pick will go to Jacob Phillips, and he will be with the Panthers. Lamar Jackson will be coming to the Saints at 130th. That's he's from Nebraska. Also in the 5th round, Saints will pick Chappelle Russell from Temple, 169th overall. So that's in the 6th round. Michael Divinity will go to the Panthers, 221st. Sadiq Charles will be 234th. He'll go to the Rams. And Thaddeus Moss will go to the 49ers at 245th. Now the next one. So let's see who's let's go over Walter football. Charlie Campbell is the contributor. He has Joe Burrow going to the Bengals. Yep. And Kelvin Chasson to the Cowboys. Eagles will have Justin Jefferson. Saints will have Patrick Queen at 24. Let's see. Christian Fulton going to the Titans at 29. Now, round 2. Clyde Edwards-Helaire will go to the Buccaneers at 45th. 51st, Grant Delpit will go to LSU. No, not LSU. The Cowboys. Excuse me. Sorry about that. It's been a long hour and a half. We kind of get this done. All right. Let's get back. Round 4. The Bills will be selecting Damian Lewis, 128th. Jalen Hurts will be picked 130th, so he will be coming to the Saints at 130th. Rashard Lawrence, 145th, will go to the Eagles. Round 5, let's see. Stephen Sullivan will go to the Cowboys. And the Saints will pick DJ Warren. If I'm saying his name right, from South Carolina. So he's going to be in round 5. That's going to be with let's see. 178th pick overall will be Jacob Phillips. 203rd will be Tavavius Keys. That will be from Tulane. So Tavavius Keys will go to Tulane, the Saints. So he will go to the Saints. I'm getting confused here. I'm just trying to get this done. Yeah. So I think one of the Tulane players will be picked 203rd, and that will be the Saints picking Tavavius Keys. Now, no picks. This is for, once again, Walter Football. Walter Football is another reputable site on the internet. They select Joe Burrow. They select Kelvin Chasson with the Cowboys. Also, they have Patrick Queen with the Raiders and Justin Jefferson with the Saints. Now, round 2. The Browns have Grant Delpit at 41st, so that's going to be in round 2. Also, round 2 will be Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who will be picked 55th overall. Round 3 will be Christian Fulton, 69th. 73rd will be Jacob Phillips. He will go to the Jaguars. And the Saints will pick at 88th. They will get Tony Price Troy Price, excuse me, from not Tony Price, Troy Price. I'm trying to get this done. Also, the Ravens selected Thaddeus Moss. So round 4, Damian Lewis will go to the Bengals, 107. Jaguars will get Sadiq Charles, and the Saints will get uh, Kyrie Barnes. I'm saying his name right, K-R-Y-S Barnes from UCLA. He will be picked 130th. Lawrence Kuchibari will be picked 141st by the Miami Dolphins. And Michael Divinity will go to the Eagles at 146. In round 5, Harrison Bryant will go to the Saints. He's a tight end. Saints also will pick Ben Cleveland from Georgia. So this is the complete NFL draft. So once again, thanks for this is from the Advocate. So this is from Jeff Nowick. You can follow him at the Advocate. Very nice article. It was a very long one, but look, we had to go through it. So once again, let's go ahead and shut this down for this afternoon. Okay, once again, thanks for joining us here for this edition of Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show. We'll be back on later with Sports Time New Orleans Sports Podcast. We'll go over the New Orleans Pelicans 2020 basketball season. Unfortunately, the season had to end early because of the coronavirus, so we will be going through those games and stuff like that. I'm going to break down those games. I'm going to for you and all the players' stats and information on the Pelicans. So once again, you come in and join us tonight. Once again, like, share, and follow Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Show on Sportscaster at KLW. Also, you can follow me on Twitter at Talk Kerry, TALK KERRY. That is another way you can follow me. So once again, everybody have a good rest of your Tuesday afternoon. I know it was long, but we had to do what we had to do to get everything done. So thanks for your patience, and we will see you later. Okay, once again, next, thanks for chiming in today. I appreciate you coming in. We'll be on your draft show on Friday, so I will be on Thursday with Isaac and Grant and Sam on all Sports Talk. I will be on there Thursday. I will also be on the next on Friday, and also I will have a draft post show that will be after the draft. We will go over all the draft. You'll be able to call in on the Skype. You'll be able to give your opinions or whatever. So for the chat room or Skype. So once again, everybody have a good rest of your Tuesday afternoon.